Hello everyone, good morning and welcome to today's lecture. So today we are going to continue our discussion on reporting part, chapter 7 and SA 705, that is, modification to the opinion in the independent auditor report. Okay. So when I talk about modification, okay, basically the modification that we were talking about in last lecture, we saw various types of modification. When I say modified opinion, I said, a qualified opinion, an adverse opinion, or a disclaimer of opinion. And these all three or type of opinions were dependent on two things. One, the level of material misstatement. Second, the pervasiveness of the that misstatement. If the misstatement is pervasive, then in that case, yes, it will be, and it may go towards the adverse opinion compared to when it was less pervasive or not pervasive. Okay, so three things, three type of opinions that we discussed in case of a modification, that is qualified opinion, adverse opinion, and a disclaimer of opinion in our last session. Okay, and we discussed what we meant by pervasiveness. Okay, now to take this further, we need to understand what are the requirements, what we are required to do when we say there is a modified opinion. Okay, what auditor should do when he says there is a modified opinion. Okay, so let's understand one by one with each type of modification. Let's understand first with the qualified opinion. Okay, so whenever auditor is required to express a qualified opinion, okay, whenever an auditor is required to express a qualified opinion, okay, then in that case the auditor basically first of all should provide the appropriate title to the opinion paragraph, that okay, it's a qualified opinion, and in the basis of qualified opinion he needs to provide a reason that why he thinks there is a qualified opinion, on what basis he thinks that there is a qualified opinion. So the term, the paragraph, that opinion will change into the qualified opinion first of all. Okay, and then he needs to again add the terminology, add the paragraph in the basis of opinion paragraph, that okay, why he thinks there is a qualified opinion. If I show you with an example, just a minute, yeah. See over here, when there is a qualified opinion, the title specifies it's a qualified opinion, and then in the basis of qualified opinion you draw the attention to that particular qualification, plus you have an additional paragraph, this one, that except for the possible effects of the matters described in the basis of qualified opinion, means we provide that in the opinion paragraph, that okay, except for this, okay, except for this, everything is good. So that kind of language then is used in your opinion paragraph when it is a qualified opinion. Okay, any doubt guys, any doubt with respect to this? Any doubt? these are the basis for the qualified. This is how the qualified opinion is issued basically. Okay. Now coming to the next part is your when a qualified opinion can be issued. When I can say it's a qualified opinion. Okay. So qualified opinion comes in two categories. Like one, if the auditor is having sufficient and appropriate audit evidence that there is a misstatement, material misstatement, okay, and that misstatement is not pervasive to the financial statement, that becomes a qualified opinion. Second, auditor is unable to obtain sufficient and appropriate audit evidence, and the possible effects of that particular the possible effects of undetected misstatement, okay, if any, are material but not pervasive. In that case, again, it will be a qualified opinion. And moreover, when there is a you are not able to get audit evidence, you are not able to get the required sufficient and appropriate audit evidence, and you want to predict the possible effect, it becomes difficult at time to understand what could be the possible effects of the undetected misstatement. However, it depends upon the area where you are not able to get the appropriate and sufficient audit evidence. For example, a lot of people ask this question, that how to identify the possible effects on the financial statement of undetected misstatement. So if you want to understand, if you want to identify the possible effects, first of all, understand the impact of that area on the financial statement. For example, let's say you are auditing debtors, okay, trade receivables. Now when you are auditing trade receivables, there could be some you are not able to get appropriate audit evidence with respect to the let's say, for example, completeness of the debtors. Now if you are not able to get the appropriate and sufficient audit evidence over there with respect to the completeness of the data, then what will happen is you could say, okay, I'm not able to get the evidence. Now there are chances of the misstatement. But what is the impact or magnitude if that misstatement becomes material? So there is a possibility now that there could be a misstatement. But what is the possibility, like what is the maximum materiality, or you can say maximum impact that could occur when that misstatement get materialized, when that risk of misstatement get materialized? That is important to understand. And if that is a scenario, let's say for example, I could say, okay, let's say for example, if the misstatement that I was thinking about in data, if that get materialized, then the maximum impact I can understand here is, let's say for example, 20 lakh rupees. Okay. Then in that case, if the maximum maximum misstatement I'm able to understand is a 20 lakhs, and my materiality, let's say for example, it's let's say somewhere around 10 lakhs, then I could say, yes, this is a material misstatement. But whether it's of such nature that it becomes that pervasive, that it is impacting multiple items, majority of the financial statement, if yes, then it will go to the adverse side. But if no, then it will stay to the qualified opinion. Okay. So this is how you need to understand whether it's a qualified opinion or it's an adverse opinion. Any doubt? Sorry. Any doubt? Okay. If no doubts, let's proceed further. Okay, there is one doubt. ESG audit is compulsory for some entities as per SEBI rules. So it means sustainable reporting is part of statutory reports. requires auditor signature based on evaluation and assessment. See, ESG audit is compulsory for some entities. Now, for these entities, yes, if there is a compulsion on the ESG audit, okay, then yes, it's a part of your what do you say financial reports, annual report. But whether it's a part of your audited financial statement, that you need to understand. Okay, so I think you are asking with respect to audited financial statement. Okay, now it's a part of your annual report that is there, but whether that is part of your audited financial statement, that is something we need to understand and we need to answer. Reason because when I talk about ESG audit and the ESG reports, okay, they are in a standalone basis on their own, and again on that basis, I don't see it should be covered with the financial statement. It may see when I call it as a supplementary financial information, uh, then I have to audit that. But again, am I auditing ESG data based on my standards on auditing? SA answer is no. Then I should not consider the ESG audit report as a supplementary information to the financial statement, which I should audit in accordance with the standards of auditing. That should be clearly distinguished that okay, this is not the part of audited financial statement. Clear? Any doubt? Any doubt? Okay, if no further doubts, then I have one question for you guys. So my question is that can a audit report have two different type of opinions? Can a audit report have two different type of opinions? Let's say, for example, for some part I may issue an adverse opinion, and for some part I may issue a qualified opinion. So can an audit report have two different type of opinions? What do you think, guys? Can an audit report have two different type of opinions? Come on, guys. Okay, good, Charu. Good, Jigar. Very good. Good, Mancha. Shruti, Mohammed, Nandini. Very good. Can an audit report have, can an audit report have two different opinions? One adverse opinion for some part, let's say for P&L, I give an adverse opinion, and for balance sheet, I give a qualified opinion. What do you think, guys? Come on, quickly. Okay, good, Tanisha. Okay, Nandini, good. So basically, auditor cannot issue two different type of opinions. No, that is not possible. If auditor is issuing, one adverse opinion on the financial statement, that will be the adverse opinion. He cannot then, issue another opinion in this for the same financial statement, or for same financial statement but different reporting framework. So two different opinions are not possible at all. Two different opinions not allowed for same financial statement. Okay. So two different opinions is not allowed for the same financial statement. It will, contradict your own opinion. On one side, you are saying it's an adverse opinion, but on the other side, you are saying, okay, no, it's a qualified opinion. Then how it is adverse opinion at the first stage? So that's why two different opinion for the same financial statement are not allowed. Okay. So that is about the basic I was talking about with respect to the modification in the opinion. Now, again, coming back to the qualified opinion, when I was talking about qualified opinion, we understood, okay, what is required to be done when we issue qualified opinion. One, change title. Two, provide details in basis of qualified opinion. Okay. When I talk about provide details in the basis of qualified opinion, in that case, what are those bases I'm talking about basically? So when let's say for example you are issuing qualified opinion. Now in that case, what you need to do is you need to first of all change the title, that is okay, basis for qualified opinion, and then you need to discuss the non-disclosure, or you need to discuss the matter, you need to discuss the information on the basis of which you are doing a issuing a qualified opinion. Okay. So if there is a non-disclosure by the management, then discuss what they have not disclosed. If there is a misstatement, then discuss the misstatement. Okay. If they have missed out something, then discuss that particular part. You need to provide the details in the basis of qualified opinion. And if there is any notes or any schedule to the financial statement where there is some information provided, then you need to draw attention towards that particular part and highlight, okay, in this part or this particular section this was supposed to happen, but that is missing, or this is the number which is incorrect. So by drawing attention plus by providing the detail, okay, what was there and what should be there, what is there and what should be there, you need to provide the basis for the qualified opinion. Okay. Any doubt till now? Any doubt, guys? No? Okay. So that was basic about the modification in the audit opinion. Now let's come to the next part that I want to discuss, is very important one. That is, you could say key audit matters SA 701. Now, very important essay, very important part of the our audit report. Okay. Now, when I talk about SA 701 key audit matters, okay, key audit matters are generally, as their name suggests, they are the key in nature. They are audit related matters that they are key in nature. Okay. They are there to enhance the communicative value of the auditor's report by providing, more transparency about what audit was performed. Let's say, for example, I want to give additional detail with respect to what audit was performed. I want to increase the, communication through audit report. That's why I add key audit matters, additional information for the readers that, okay, these are the key areas of the audit. Okay. So it is to increase the communicative value of the auditor's report. Okay. And it provides additional understanding to the readers of the financial statement. Okay. Now, after reading the financial statement, I'll come to know, okay, this was a key important area. Now, how to determine what are the key audit matters and how to determine what to report for the key audit matters. So first of all, determining what are the key audit matters, how to determine what are the key audit matters. Okay. Kind of definition, I would say. Anyone can tell me what are key audit matters? Like I have provided some background as of now, but as per the definition or how to, from where key audit matters come from where, anyone can provide me some background on the key audit matters. Okay, Mansha, very good. Anyone can tell me about key audit matters? What are key audit matters? If someone has done a reading of the study material. Okay, very good, Jigar. Very good. Come on, guys. What is key audit matters? Okay, good, Jigar. Good, Kriti. Good, Shruti. Okay, good, Tanisha. Good, Nandini. Okay, very good. So yes, you all are correct. Okay, the key audit matters, when I talk about key audit matters, those are the matters that, in my judgment, in auditor's judgment, okay, professional judgment, are of most significance in the audit. So, those matters that, in the auditor's judgment, auditor's professional judgment were of most were of most significance, okay, in the audit of that financial statement, okay, of that particular period. So these are the most significant in the audit of financial statement of that particular period. Now, as per the auditor's judgment, professional judgment, and these are the matters selected from matters communicated with those charged with governance. Okay, they are selected from the matters which are already communicated to those charged with governance. So these are certain, matters which you already communicate. There are certain matters which you already communicate to those charged with governance. From those matters, you select one key audit matter. Now, which are the matters that you communicate to those charged with governance? Can anyone tell me the type of matters that you communicate with those charged with governance? Come on. Which are the type of matter that you communicate to those charged with governance? Something we have already discussed during SA 260, guys. Matters which we communicate to those charged with governance. Come on. Which are those matters? Come on, guys. Which are those matters that we communicate to those charged with governance as per SA 260 or 265? Anyone? Okay, Shruti. Okay, Hari, good. Come on, guys. We have already discussed this part in SA 260. What are the matters that we communicate to those charged with governance under SA 260? Come on, guys. Come on. No, Shruti. It can be multiple. Okay, Mohammed. Very good. Good, Charu. Good, Jigar. Good, Kirti. Very good. Okay. So the matters which we communicate to those charged with governance. Okay. Let us see what we discussed in that particular chapter. Let me open the notes of that particular chapter so that we can understand. We can revise back. Just a minute. There is some issue at my end. Just a minute. Yeah. The matters that we communicate with those charged with governance are one, if there is a significant findings, or if there are qualitative aspects of about the policies, procedures. Okay. Then we communicate responsibilities of the auditor in relation to the financial statement. We discuss about some significant and relevant areas or observations with respect to the responsibilities of management and those charged with governance. Then we discuss something about, remember, what you say, kind of observations and significant difficulties. Okay. Then we talk about significant qualitative aspects of the entity's policy, estimate, and disclosure. Of entities, accounting policies, estimate, disclosure, financial disclosure. So significant qualitative aspects, significant difficulties, significant matters. Okay. Then we discuss about auditor's responsibility, management responsibility, observation with respect to the management responsibility. Okay. Any other significant matter arising from the audit, which in which auditor's judgment is relevant to the those charged with governance. Okay. We talk about statement on the independence and ethics. We communicate to them. We provide that okay, we have complied with the independence and ethical requirements. So there are lot many matters that we communicate to those charged with governance. Okay. And one such matter, or few such matters could become my key audit matter. But to determine that, let's say for example, I have reported 10 different matters to the to those charged with governance. Now to determine out of those 10 matters, let's say for example, I'll give you an example. Following are the matters communicated to those charged with governance. Okay. One. So these are the matters already communicated during the audit. Management did not allow the auditor to contact or send confirmation to third party where the goods were lying. Okay, so there were goods lying with third party. Management did not allow auditor to contact or send confirmation to third party where goods were lying. However, the amount was not material and below acceptable limit. Okay. Second, during the audit, the audit team faced huge difficulties in obtaining vendor reconciliations on timely basis. Upon inquiry, with management, it was identified that the huge delay in providing data was due to miscommunication between management and operations team. Okay. Then third, during audit, the team identified misstatement in physical inventory of rupees, let's say 25 lakhs, which was material in nature. Fourth, during audit, it was difficult for audit team to value certain category of inventory as or due to their special nature. Therefore, the audit team appointed auditors expert to help them in valuation of inventory. No observations were noted in valuation. Okay. So these are the 4 points, let's say for example, that were communicated to those charged with governance. Now, out of these 4 points, which one you will classify as a key audit matter? Out of these 4 points, which one you will classify as a key audit matter? There are 4 points that you communicated to those charged with governance. Okay. Now we want to classify, we want to highlight key audit matter. Which one should I do as a key audit matter? Come on, guys. If here, these are the 4 matters that were already reported to the management, which one should I classify as a key audit matter? For example, number 1, during the audit, okay, during the audit, management did not allow the auditor to contact or send confirmation to third party where the goods were lying. However, the amount was not material and below acceptable limit. Second, during the audit team faced huge difficulties in obtaining vendor reconciliation on timely basis. Upon inquiry with management, S4 identified that the huge delay in providing the data was due to miscommunication between management and operation team. Third, during the audit team identified misstatement in physical inventory of 25 lakhs, which was material in nature. Fourth, during the audit, it was difficult for audit team to value certain category of inventories due to special nature. Therefore, the audit team appointed auditors expert to help them in valuation of inventory. No observations were noted in the valuation. So, which are the key audit matters from these four? Could be multiple. Okay, Charu. Good, Kriti. Very good, Shruti. Okay, Manja. Come on, guys. Okay, Jigar. Okay, Yukta. Okay. Okay, Charu. So let us understand now. Okay, let me add one more area to this. Okay, one more. Let's say you reported this one more point to management with respect to key audit matters. Fifth number. During the audit team identified certain litigations which, if resulted unfavorable which it, certain litigations which, if concluded against entity, or the result of which if became unfavorable for entity, then it could lead to and it could lead to a going concern issue for entity. These events cast significant doubt on entities' ability to continue as going concern, and the audit team still have not received any information any information as to why management thinks or why management believes that use of going concern basis of accounting is appropriate. Also, management should report these events in financial statement as they pose a material uncertainty. Okay. So in fifth point, there are some litigations wherein which if concluded against the company, against the entity, then it could impact the going concern. Okay. And in the auditor is saying that they have not received any information why management believes that the use of going concern basis of accounting is appropriate, and they are also saying to management that they should disclose this in the financial statement as a material uncertainty. Okay, so management has not disclosed this part as a material uncertainty, so they are asking management to disclose. Okay, plus they are saying that they have not received any information that why management believes that the use of going concern basis of accounting is appropriate. So this is something which is communicated to those charged with governance. Now tell me, out of these 5 points, so you have already given answer for the 1 to 4. Now what about the fifth point? Will you include fifth point also into your key audit matters? Okay, Shruti, very good. Okay, Tanisha, will you include the fifth point also in your key audit matter? Come on, guys. Okay, Manoj, very good. At least try. Think about whether I will include this in key audit matter or not. Try to give the answer so that it will enhance your clarity, enhance your understanding about the topic also. Okay, Mancha. Okay, Kriti. Okay, Jigar. Very good. Okay, Charu. What? Come on, guys. Come on, quickly. What do you think? Should this be part of my key audit matters? The last one. Yes, no. Okay, so let me now tell you the answer. First one, during the audit, management did not allow auditor to contact or send confirmation to third party where the goods were lying. However, the amount was not material and below acceptable limit. Should I classify this as a key audit matter? Answer is no, Cam. It is not a key audit matter. Number two, the audit team faced huge difficulties in obtaining vendor reconciliation on timely basis. Upon inquiry with the management, it was identified that the huge delay in providing data was due to miscommunication between management and operation teams. Should I classify this as a key audit matter? Again, the answer goes a no, Cam. Okay. Till now, I think everyone is aligned with me because most of the people said, okay, first and second are not Cam. Fine. Third, during the audit, the team identified misstatement in physical inventory of rupees 25 lakh, which was material in nature. Most of you said that this is a key audit matter. But this is not a key audit matter. And the reason is why? Because this is an observation which will require modification in audit report. Now, the first thing we need to understand is key audit matters are not substitute for modification. Key audit matters are not a substitute for the modification. If a matter is required to be reported as per SA 705, that is a modification in opinion, modified opinion, then that matter should not be a part of key audit matter, because key audit matter is kind of, the matter where I'm providing to the readers, as I said in the start, that is to enhance the communicative value. If there is something already in modified opinion, if there is something on the already mentioned in the basis of opinion, then why should I repeat again in the key audit matter? How it will increase the communicative value? To increase the communicative value, I need to provide the details which are not contained elsewhere. I don't want to repeat the things. I want to provide additional information that is useful to the readers. Understand the difference. Okay. If I provide a misstatement, which is a part of modification, which I already specified in the basis of opinion, this will form part of basis of opinion. Okay. If not rectified by the management. In that case, I should not repeat the same as a key audit matter. And the same reason goes with this also, because this is a modification. This is misstatement, and together with other misstatement is together with other misstatement, this will become a modification. For example, if you see here, I purposefully specified with respect to the goods. Again, I have inventory. So in inventory, you have two type of misstatement, and whenever I report about the misstatement, I need to see other misstatement in the same area also. So together with this, these two will become part of your modification, because your inventories are, you are not able to gather sufficient and appropriate audit evidence about the inventories, whether it is the valuation, whether it is, or any other part, like it's a, inventory lying with the third party. Okay. Then fourth one, during the audit, it was difficult for audit team to value certain category of inventories due to special nature. Therefore, the audit team appointed the auditor expert to help them in the valuation of inventory. No observations were noted in this valuation. This particular area, yes, I could report in KAM. Reason because there is no observations, first of all. So again, it will not form part of misstatement. Okay, this doesn't require modification. This is not, substitute for any disclosure or something. So this could be part of my KAM. Fifth one and last one. Can I call this as a KAM? So this is not a KAM. Reason because if read the last line, management should report these events in FS as they pose a material uncertainty. Means reporting by management is missing, which is again part of my modification, first of all. Second, I have not received any information with respect to the use of going concern basis of accounting from management side. And this something, if still, let's say, materialize and everything is appropriate, okay, if management does disclose and everything, then it will form part of my going concern para. If all good. If not, then it will form part of my modification. But in any given case, it will not become part of of a key audit matter. So again, key audit matter is not a substitute for reporting of SA 570, that is going concern. So if there is something which is required to be reported in going concern, that will be reported over there. I should not duplicate the things by mentioning same thing in different paras. No. So to summarize, first of all, we need to understand that whenever we are deciding key audit matters, okay, the selected matters which are selected or selected from the matters which are communicated with those charged with governance. Okay, few things are required to be excluded. Exclusions from key audit matters selection. One is matters require modification as per SA 705. Matters require disclosure as per SA 570, that is going concern. Okay. Matters require disclosure as per applicable financial reporting framework in financial statement. Now, this third point is very important. Let's say, there was a disclosure that management was required to do in financial statement. But if we disclose that matter in key audit matter, okay, and management does not disclose that matter in their financial statement, kind of a substitution, then it is not allowed. You cannot you cannot select the KAM which is which are the matters required to be which are required to be as a disclosure as per applicable financial reporting framework in financial statement. So I would say substitute for disclosure in financial statement as per applicable financial reporting framework. So you cannot give a KAM to substitute a disclosure in FS. Let's say management missed out some disclosure, Now you are giving KAM for that. No. Okay. That is not allowed. That is not the correct way of, or correct item to report as a KAM. Okay. So these are certain matters which should not form part of your KAM, key audit matters. Okay, which should not form part of key audit matters. Then the question comes is, okay, fine. We understood these should not be form these should not form part of my key audit matters. So if these are not forming part of key audit matters, then how to identify a key audit matter? On what basis I can identify a key audit matter? That is something important we need to understand. Before that, any doubts till now? Any doubts? Okay, I could see few doubts. Number one, uh, how the first one was a modification as it is not a material item. See, whenever I need to see the modification, I need to see, misstatement, together with the other misstatement. I am not required to evaluate only one misstatement. Let's say, for example, there was this misstatement that the goods were lying with the third party. I was not able to get the audit evidence. Fine. Individually, this is not material. But together with the other misstatement in the same area, that is the inventory, this one and this one, this could become material. So that's why I need to see misstatement together with the other areas also of the other misstatement in the similar area. Second, can a matter be reported into EOM paragraph and key audit matters? See, if a matter is required to be reported, no, logically, if you think, if a matter is required to be reported in EOM paragraph or OM paragraph, then why would you disclose that matter into key audit matters? Why would you disclose that matter into a key audit matter? So, if a matter is of a key audit matter, if a particular item is required to be reported in key audit matters, then why would you prefer to repeat that item into EOM paragraph? That's why whenever we are talking about any of the reporting part in financial statement, always make sure that each and every area is of a communicative value, holds a communicative value. And there will be no communicative value or addition to the communicative value if I repeat that particular same item in 3 different paragraphs. Okay, let's say for example, hypothetical example, there is some modification. Let's say for example, this third point. Okay, this third point. Let's say there is a misstatement identified in the physical inventory. Now I included this into the basis of qualified opinion. Fine. What if I include this in key audit matter? So once the reader will read the basis of qualified opinion, and when he will reach key audit matters, he will think, no, this is a repetition, so he will skip forward. And if again I repeat this matter into EOM paragraph, the reader might get frustrated that why the same thing is being repeated at multiple places. So this is, if you repeat the same thing at the multiple places, it will not increase the communicative value. Now the question comes is that how we can identify a difference between EOM paragraph item and a key audit matter. Okay, so for that, just wait for some time, because when I will discuss the EOM paragraph also, I will bring up this topic again, that how the EOM paragraphs are different from the key audit matters. Okay. Okay. So Shruti, whenever we see okay, for example, let's say key audit method. Okay. Now, if a particular point is required to be part of my modification, then first priority I need to give to the modification. First, I need to identify whether it's a modification or not. If it is not a modification, then I need to see whether it is required to be part of key audit matters or not. Okay. So when I will start reading the points, I will see, okay, point number 1, and I will see point number 3. And if I conclude that the combination of point number 1 and point number 3 is a modification, then I will not proceed for the KAM for these 2 points. Now, let's say, for example, if this point was not there, point number 3, still this is a misstatement. Misstatements are not there for the key audit matters. Key audit matters should not contain a misstatement. Understand? Whether material or not. Key audit matters are not there for reporting misstatement. Whether material or not. Okay. So once I will decide it's a misstatement, whether material or not, okay, I will go to SA 705 in order to identify whether that's a material misstatement with the such impact of such nature that it should be either an adverse opinion or a qualified opinion. I need to evaluate that whether the impact is of such nature or not. Okay, but that will never route to KAM, because once you started the journey of the misstatement, it will never go into the journey of KAM. So in first point, the matter was with respect to the goods that were lying with the third party. And in third point, again, we are talking about physical inventory. Same, we are on the both ends, we are talking about inventory. Okay. So again, on the first part, I was talking about goods lying with the third party. I was not able to get sufficient and appropriate audit evidence. Again, that is existence of the inventory. In the third case, again, I identified that is a physical inventory. Audit team identified misstatement in physical inventory. Again, I am talking about existence. So, 2 misstatements, both are pointing towards the existence of physical inventory. That's why I together combine the both. Okay, very good question, Shruti. Point number 4. If we are appointing auditors expert, then why we are communicating this matter to those charged with governance? The reason because that thing lies in my SA 260. Okay. Why? Because when I read the SS 260, okay, I also report to those charged with governance with respect to that what are the significant difficulties encountered during the audit. Okay, significant difficulties that were encountered during the audit. Number 2, any significant matters arising from audit, which is the auditor's judgment relevant to those charged with governance. So these points, appointing an auditor expert falls under this area, that okay, it's a significant matter, okay, arising from audit, which in auditor's judgment is relevant to those charged with governance, or it is a significant difficulty which I encountered during the audit, okay, but at the end, whether rectified or not, that is another story, but it was a difficulty. That's why I hired the auditor's expert. Okay. Also, at some point in time, I communicate to those charged with governance about the approach and plan that how I will conduct the audit. Okay. So I also communicate that to those charged with governance, that okay, this is how I will be conducting the audit. This is how I will be, appointing an auditor expert. The reason, because if you are appointing a third party in your audit, you will be sharing the data of the management with the third party. So it is always advisable to, inform those charged with governance that you are appointing an auditor's expert. Okay, it is a, third party auditor's expert to with whom you will be sharing the data. And any which ways, let's say for example, if you are hiring a auditor's expert, tomorrow if he wants to go at the management site to value certain inventory, then why management will allow that expert to come unless and until you don't inform that okay, this is the expert hired from our side. So all these points, because of all these things, I inform those charged with governance about appointment of management expert. Basically, see, if expert has done some work, okay, which is of such nature that is it is significant to the audit, then I'm supposed to report to those charged with governance. Now, why I say that is a key audit matter, reason because when I talk about key audit matter, I'm yet to come about, on the place, on the details of how to identify key audit matter. Okay. But just to give you a glimpse that when I have to decide a key audit matter, I need to understand that it is of such nature that it was either, okay, let me provide you that the details. So it will give you more clarity. So other than these exclusions, there are certain things that I need to take care of, I need to understand to identify the key audit matters. Okay. Now, in determination, of key audit matters following, okay, factors shall be taken into account. Means if you want to identify which point could be a key audit matter out of the points which are communicated to those charged with governance, you need to consider these areas, these factors. One, areas of higher assessed risk of material misstatement, higher assessed risk of material misstatement, okay, or significant risk, okay, identified as per SA 315. If there is an area which is of higher risk, if area of higher risk is there, or where you have assessed the risk of material misstatement on the higher side, or it's a significant risk or a fraud risk, that could be a part of your key audit matter. Significant auditor judgment relating to area in FS. So if I have taken a significant judgment with respect to some areas in financial statement, okay, that involves that involved significant management judgment, including accounting estimate, okay, that have been identified as having high estimation uncertainty. Okay. So if there is a accounting estimate, okay, where I have taken a significant judgment and where there was a judgment of management also, and it is an area of having higher estimation uncertainty, then that could be your key audit matters. Then the effect on the audit of significant event or transaction, okay, that occurred during the period. Again, the effect on the audit of significant transactions or event that occurred during the period, provided that is not a modification. And out of these, I need to identify the matters of most significance in the audit. Now, when I say I appoint an expert, it could be an area of higher risk of material misstatement. That's why I appointed an expert. And that's why it could fall under the key audit matter. Or if that is a judgment involved, let's say at the time of valuation, management involved judgment. There was a judgment involved from the side of management, or there were the estimates involved because the inventory of so complex nature that it required some estimates. Okay, and there was a significant judgment from my side also through the auditor's expert. In that case, if that was of such nature that there is a high estimation uncertainty, again, it could fall under the key audit matter. So, appointing expert, see, when you appoint expert, either the risk of material misstatement is high, either there are significant judgment involved with respect to estimation, which you cannot do because of the nature of such item or transaction or inventory or goods or any of the class of item. So by default, it will fall under key audit matter because these are the factors which I have listed down, which I need to consider when I need to determine key audit matter. So there is a question. If top management or those charged with governance are involved in irregularities, causing a dent on the company's image, then can we conclude as a key audit matter? Answer is no. First of all, you need to understand if there is an irregularity, okay, then whether there is a misstatement or a reportable item. If no, then what is the impact of that irregularity on the audit? You need to understand that. Let's say, for example, there were irregularities in past which have been rectified now. Okay. Now then you need to understand whether that is causing areas of higher risk of material misstatement. So let's say, for example, there was a management tendency that they were not complying with certain laws and regulations. Okay, in past. There was there were huge cases, management paid huge fines and a lot of things. Okay. Now there was a tendency at the side of management. So when I will start the audit this time, I will keep that area, the risk of material misstatement of that area on a higher side. That is for sure. If I identify irregularities in the current audit period also, then it will become part of modification. But if that I identify, okay, there is no modification in that, just only there was a higher risk of material misstatement and everything is fine. Okay. Everything is fine. If there was, let's say, no modification required, everything is fine. But at the start, I assess the risk of material misstatement on a higher side because of the past tendency of the management. Should I report that as a KAM? Answer is you could, but it should not be that case that you are doing the promotion, or you are kind of bringing the the deeds of past deeds of management. Okay, it should not be the case that you are reporting the KAM for the purpose that you want to highlight what management they did in past. But your language of the KAM of such nature should be of such nature that it should give you the reason why you assessed risk of material misstatement higher this time for this particular area. Okay, and why you think this is a key audit matter. Okay, so if everything is fine, if the area was of higher risk of material misstatement or significant risk, yes, you can report in the KAM, but you need to look out for the language. Any doubt? Yes, if there is a material misstatement and modification is there, then there will be no KAM. Only, and if only there is no material misstatement, no modification, then only I can go for KAM. Any doubt, guys? Any doubt? Now okay, very good question. Are we required to give KAM only in unmodified opinions? Let's say if we have issued a modified opinion, can we include KAM also with the modified opinions? Okay, different matter, which is not a part of modification, but can we include key audit matter in the audit report where there is a modification? So what do you say, guys? There is an audit report which has a modification. Can you include key audit matters also in that particular audit report? What do you think? If there is a modification, can I include key audit matters also? But yeah, different matters. So my question is, can we have key audit matters in audit report where the audit opinion is qualified opinion? Okay, where the audit opinion is a qualified opinion. Okay, can we have key audit matters in audit report where the audit opinion is a qualified opinion? This is question number 1. Question number 2, same. Can we have key audit matters in audit report where the audit opinion is adverse opinion? That is question number 2. Question number 3, same. Can we have key audit matters in audit report where the audit opinion is disclaimer of opinion? So you need to give answer for 1 to 3, both. Oh, 1 to 3, all the 3. Come on, guys. What do you think? 1, 2, 3. Okay, good, Tanisha. Good, Charu. Okay, good, Kriti. Very good. Good, Mancha. Okay, good, Tanisha. Good, Jigar. The matters are different. Matters of modification and matters of key audit matter in all the 3 are different. Okay, so matters of modification are different from matters of key audit matter in all the 3. Okay, in all the 3, matters of modification are different from matters of key audit matter. Come on, guys. Okay, good, Jigar. Anyone else would like to try? Okay. So the question here is that in all these three scenarios, when the matter of modifications are different from matter of key audit matters, can I include a key audit matter paragraph? Very good, Mohammed. So the answer is yes, I can include. Yes, I can include. No, I cannot. So when there is a matter of modification which has made the modification to the level of disclaimer of opinion, means you are not able to get any audit evidence, or you are not able to get sufficient and appropriate audit evidence to form an opinion. In that scenario, how can you identify which is the key audit matter? Again, to identify the key audit matter, you should have the sufficient and appropriate audit evidence in your hand to conclude that that is not a modification or that is not a misstatement. But when I talk about disclaimer of opinion, at that particular point in time, I say I don't have a evidence in my hand. If I don't have a evidence in my hand, how can I say that this item does not contain a misstatement and hence I should report as a key audit matter? So, whenever there is a disclaimer of opinion that you don't have evidence in your hand, okay, you don't have, sufficient and appropriate evidence in your hand to express an opinion at that particular point in time, we do not report KAM unless and until it is mandatory by law. Unless and until it is mandatory by law, we do not report the key audit matter. In case of disclaimer of opinion, we do not report the key audit matters. Are you getting my point? In case of adverse opinion, most people do not report key audit matter because majority of the items are part of your modification. That's why you have an adverse opinion. So hardly there is any item left for the key audit matter. Otherwise, it would have not been an adverse opinion. But there is no restriction when I talk about adverse opinion. There is a restriction only when there is a disclaimer of opinion. So there is only the restriction is only present when there is a disclaimer of opinion. Okay, with respect to key audit matters. Any doubt, guys? Any doubt? Okay. If no further doubts, then what I propose is let's take a quick break, and after the break, we'll gather back and continue the session. Okay, let's take a quick 10-minute break. Okay. So, hello guys, welcome back. Let's continue the session. Let's discuss on this particular topic. So there is one question that if we are auditing an entity with its branches and we have to give a qualified opinion for one branch and adverse opinion for another branch, then how we will give option in the consolidated audit report and what type of opinion? Okay. So let me explain you this one. Let's say I'll take an example, like for example, branch 1, branch 2, branch 3, and let's say headquarters. Okay. Now for branch 1, the audit opinion was clean, unmodified rather. Branch 2 had an, let's say, adverse opinion. Branch 3 had, let's say, qualified opinion. And headquarter had again, clean opinion, unmodified. Okay. So this way the opinions, let's say, were bifurcated. Now, when we are issuing one single opinion, okay, in that case, how we will address this matter? Okay, how we will address the matter with respect to, okay, how to issue different opinions in that case. Like, we have only, one opinion to issue for the consolidated entities audit report. But here in this case, we have different opinions being issued for different branches. Then what we will do when we are required to issue one opinion? So at the time of company's opinion, what we are required to understand is the materiality of these branches and headquarters. Materiality, I mean to say that how much of the portion of branch 2 is in compared to the consolidated company's financial. Let's say, for example, the turnover of branch 2 is, let's say, 10 lakhs. Turnover of branch 1, let's say, is 20 crores. Turnover of branch 3, let's say, is again 5 crores. And turnover of headquarters is, let's say, 60 crores. So the 10 lakhs branch where I have issued an adverse opinion, or if there is an adverse opinion on 10 lakh rupees of branch whose turnover is 10 lakhs, will that impact the overall company's opinion? Because let's say, for example, hypothetical example, the turnover total of 10, 60 to 80, 80 or 585 or something, let's say round about 90 CR. If the total turnover is of 90 CR, where the adverse opinion I issued was only restricted to 10 lakhs. Do you think that 10 lakh, which is adverse for branch 2, will become material even for company? So it doesn't matter that, what, opinion you have issued for a particular branch. You need to see the amount of the misstatement, the materiality with respect to the company's opinion, and then you need to decide whether this will become a qualified, adverse, or unmodified compared to, the overall. Let's say, for example, this was also unmodified. Now, let's say here the 10 lakh rupees of mistake. Let's say this was issued adverse because misstatement amount was rupees 7 lakhs. Now 7 lakhs is a material also with respect to 10 CR of turnover, and I could say, persuasive also with respect to the impact, because it is covering majority of my financial statement. And that's why I could say, okay, adverse opinion. But when I compare this 7 lakh misstatement, if I carry forward that 7 lakh over here on the company's total level in front of 90 CR, let's say my materiality is, let's say, rupees 5 crores. This 7 lakh will not hold a value because it's below materiality. Or in that case, I might end up issuing a unmodified opinion if there are no other misstatement. Even though one of the audit report of a branch was adverse. So whenever there are multiple opinions for the branches handling, opinion doesn't matter, amount matters, materiality matter of the misstatement, and from that point of view, you need to see which type of opinion you are required to issue based on the misstatement amount materiality. I hope I'm clear. I hope I have answered your question, Charu. Okay. If okay, so if no doubts, let's proceed further with respect to key audit matters. Now, once we understood what are the key audit matters and which items could be key audit matters, now the question comes is what to report and how to report. So two aspects: what to report, how to report the key audit matters. Okay. So when I talk about what to report, basically in key audit matters, uh, here when I'm reporting the key audit matters, what I need to include is the description of key audit matters under key audit matters section plus reference to disclosure in FS if available. Then I need to disclose why the matter was considered to be one of most significance in the audit and why I determined this matter as a key audit matter. Second, how the matter was addressed. That is very important. How the matter was addressed in the audit. Not only I am required to report that what was the matter, but I am also required to report why the matter was determined as a key audit matter and how I address the matter. When I say address the matter means how and what audit procedures I performed to gain the comfort and sufficient and appropriate audit evidence. So here I'm not only required to provide a description plus the reason plus how I resolve this matter so that I could say that this is not a misstatement, not an observation, not an issue. Okay. Now I'll discuss this with an example. See, this is one of the audit report where key audit matters are there. Key audit matters just come after the basis of opinion paragraph. Okay, let us see key audit matters. So, key audit matters, what it says that key audit matters are those matters in our professional judgment were of most significance in our audit of the financial statement of the current period. These matters were addressed in the context of our audit of standalone financial statement as a whole, and in forming the opinion thereon, we do not provide a separate opinion on these matters. Two important points. Number one, these matters were addressed and we do not provide a separate opinion on these matters. Means neither we are qualifying our audit report on these matters, nor we are expressing any separate opinion other than the opinion mentioned above. But these matters were also addressed during our audit. That's why they are not an observation. Okay. We have determined the below matters as a key audit matters. So then they have given first the title of key audit matter. This is the title of key audit matter. Then you have some figures. Total title is identification of NPA and provisioning on advances. They are referring this as a key audit matter. Now, these are certain numbers of that particular item and reference to financial statement. So I have amount and this is reference to notes, okay, of F, notes to FS. Okay. So if you see the if you see the numbers, it is 254 crores. That is 271 crores. And the provision, okay, for NPA was 4733 crores in March 22. Okay. This is March 22 audit report as of now. Let's see the key audit matters. Why they think, what is the description of the matter? The bank is required to comply with the master circular. This is issued by the RBI on prudential norms, okay, on and amendments there to which prescribe the guidelines for NPA and applies judgment and qualitative factors. Okay. The bank is also required to apply judgment to determine the identification of provision required against NPA, considering various quantitative as well as qualitative factors. Identification of NPA is also affected by factors like stress and liquidity concerns. The provision for identified NPA is estimate based on aging and classification of NPA, value of security, recovery, and all those things. In addition to this, resolution for COVID-19 stress, again, the details of some framework is given. Since the identification of NPA and provision for advance requires considerable level of management estimation, application of various regulatory frameworks, and is significant to overall audit, we have identified this as a key audit matter. So they have identified why? Because identification requires considerable level of management estimation, application of various regulatory requirements, and its significance to the overall audit. These are the three factors for which they have identified this as a key audit matter. Okay. Remember in our when we were discussing, we discussed that which items could be key audit matter is that significant auditor's judgment, which involved significant judgment by management, accounting estimate, or having high estimation uncertainty because of any reason. If these are the categories, then it could be a key audit matter. Okay. Or effect on the audit of significant event or transaction that occurred during the period. Now, event could be issuance of new regulatory requirement. Okay. New requirement was issued, new provisions, norms, or something was issued during the period, which had the effect on audit of that particular transaction or of that particular event. So these two are there, and accordingly they are saying that okay, this is a key audit matter. Now, how they have addressed this matter? Again, the important point is how the audit address the key audit matters. First, the description, then the address. Addressing the matter. Okay. So, how they have addressed the matter? So, they have provided some details over here that our audit procedure, including the following: understood the process and controls, tested the design and operating effectiveness of the key controls, including information technology based and focus on approval of new lending facilities in accordance with bank credit policy, performance of annual review of loan accounts, monitoring of credit quality, which amongst other things include the monitoring of overdue loan accounts, drawing power limits, pending security creations, identifications of NPA in accordance with IRAC norms, assessments of adequacy of NPA provision, tested bank process for identifications of loan with defaults event and breach of qualitative factors for a sample of performing loans, independently assessed as to whether there was a need to classify such loans as an NPA, test checks on the basis of verified accounts classified by the bank as a special mention account in RBI's CRISIL, inquired with the management of the bank on sectors where there has been stress and steps have been taken by bank to mitigate such sectorial risk. So they perform certain procedures. With respect to provision recognized to an NPA, we reperform the provision calculation on sample basis, taking into consideration the value of security, where applicable the IRAC norms, NPA policy of bank, and all that stuff. Assess whether the bank approved policy is in line with the resolution framework, whether with respect to the additional provision held by bank on account of the impact of COVID-19 pandemic, we assess the underlying assumption and estimate used by the management, and read the RBI annual financial inspection report and other stuff. So this is how they address the matter in their audit. So basically, they are providing what they have done, what audit procedures they have performed in order to conclude that there are no misstatement in this area. This is only a significant key audit matter or only key audit matter. Okay, so this is how the key audit matters are reported. Let me show you one more example other than bank. See, this is a key audit matter. So key audit matter paragraph. Here it is after emphasis of matter paragraph. Reason because in some cases you don't have EOM paragraph. So key audit matter becomes after basis of opinion. But when there is a emphasis of matter paragraph, key audit matter will come after emphasis of matter. Okay. So just let's read this one. Key audit matters are those matters that in our professional judgment and based on the consideration of reports of other auditors on separate financial statement of components audited by them were of most significance in the audit of the consolidated financial statement of current period. So this is key audit matter of consolidated financial statement. Now what they are saying is based on the consideration of reports of other auditors on separate financial statement. Okay, means they are not only covering the significant matters which are of most important for the audit, but also the matters which are reported by other auditors on separate financial statement in case of a consolidated financial statement. These matters were addressed in the context of our audit of the consolidated financial statement as a whole and in forming our opinion thereon, and we do not provide a separate opinion on these matters. The key audit matters in addition to the matters described for the basis of qualified opinion section and material uncertainty related to going concern section of this report. So they are in addition to that. Okay. So key audit matter. The description is loans and advances and other receivables impairment evaluation. So what was the matter? That we and the auditors of this particular company Now, why this company name is there? Because it's a consolidated financial statement, and when you are when you are reporting a key audit matter for a consolidated financial statement, you see the key audit matters of the individual financial statement, and if still they are key with respect to the consolidated financial statement, you mention a reference of that particular entity or component from whose standalone financial statement you have taken the key audit matter. We have reported the evaluation of the adequacy of the provisions on loans and advances, trade receivables, and other receivables are the key audit matter. Due to significance of the amount in loans and advances and receivables in the consolidated financial statement. Okay. Now the parent company and this company has granted loans and advances and has certain receivables from various parties, including related parties. These loans and receivables are tested for impairment annually. If any impairment exists, the recoverable amount of the loans and receivables are estimated in order to determine the extent of any impairment loss, if any. Determination of whether there exists an impairment in the value of loans or receivable is subject to significant level of judgment. Refer notes of the financial statement. So two things. Number one, it is subject to the significant level of judgment. Number two, because of the significance of the amount of loans and advances and receivable in the consolidated financial statement, they have marked this matter as a key audit matter. And how they have addressed this, they have written over here that what they have done, they have verified the adequacy of the impairment, pursued the audited financial statement of those entities, verified whether the requisite approvals were obtained, obtained independent confirmation of balances. So they perform certain procedures. Same way, you have different key audit matters. But if you see why these were reported as a key audit matter, so key audit matter due to significance of the amount stated in the consolidated financial statement and complexity of nature of transaction. Again, significant level of judgment was involved. So either judgment was involved, either they are significant subject to the consolidated financial statement, or let us see for the standalone one in this case. This is the standalone financial statement. And over here, we also have a key audit matter. Again, this key audit matter will be different compared to consolidated financial statement, because on a standalone level, you could identify a different matter as a significant compared to what you identify on a consolidated level. So investment, evaluation of the fair value of investment in this particular company, and this particular company. Again, why these are the key audit matters? Because significant level of judgment is there. Okay. And again, these investments are recognized as a fair value through OCI. Means again, there is an estimation required. And how they have identified whether this is not an observation is written over here on the right hand side. Again, second matter. Evaluation of loans and advances for impairment assessment. Why this is the key audit matter? The reason is subject to the significant level of judgment. So key audit matter at the standalone level could be different than at the consolidated level. And key audit matter at the consolidated level would be after consideration of the key audit matters which are there in the standalone component financial statements. Clear? Any doubt till now, guys, with respect to the key audit matters? That what we are required to report in key audit matters, how it is required to be reported. So what we were discussing is what to report and how to report. We also saw separate section after EOM para, which should have description plus how matter was addressed. So this is the one, what to report one. How to report is separate section after EOM para with what to report. Is you will come to know that what is required to be reported under key audit matters and how it is required to be reported. Any doubt? Any doubt, guys? Any doubt? Any doubt, guys? Okay. If no doubts, I have one question. Let me write down the question. KPK and company were appointed as statutory auditor for X Limited for FY 22-23. While drafting the audit report, okay, KPK engagement partner added the following para in their audit in their report, or while drafting in added the following para. And what is that paragraph? I'll write it here. So let me write down the paragraph. So this is a particular paragraph that I'm entering over here. Okay, this paragraph was added in a part in the audit report. Now, kindly guide whether such paragraph, such para can be added in audit report as per SA 701. So what they have written is that key audit matters are those matters that are in professional judgment were of most significant in our audit standalone financial statement of the current period. These matters were addressed in the context of our audit of the standalone financial statement as a whole, and in forming our opinion thereon, we do not provide a separate opinion on these matters. We have determined that there are no key audit matters to be communicated in our report. So this is a paragraph that has been added to the audit report. Now you need to guide whether this paragraph is correct or not. What is the issue with this to this paragraph? Whether this is the correct paragraph or not. Come on, guys. Is this correct paragraph? Do you think any issue is there in this or not? Or everything is fine? Do you find any issue in this paragraph? Or everything is good? Come on, guys. Do you think everything is good or what do you think? There is any change required? Can auditor report this kind of thing that they don't have any key audit matter? So the question is, they have reported there are no key audit matters. Can they report like this? Come on, guys. Can they report like this? So they have written that we have determined that there are no key audit matters to be communicated in our report. What do you think? Is it possible to have this thing? Yes, no, something. Yes, no. Okay, good Mancha, good Charu, good Mohammed. Come on, guys, only few answers. Do you think this is good or not? Can auditor write this particular line that there are no key audit matters to report? What do you say? Can auditor write? So I'll give you the answer. This is possible. This is possible. Yes. That's why I wanted to discuss. So at times, there could be a scenario where there is no key audit matter. Okay. There are hardly such cases, but yes, there could be a scenario where there could be no key audit matter because those areas either they were key audit matter are part of the qualification, okay, or there were no significant issues identified or significant areas were there. It was a simple entity, simple business, that's it. So there could be certain scenarios, areas where key audit matter might not be present, and in those scenarios, like auditor can have this particular statement that yes, they don't have any key audit matter to report. That is perfectly possible. Are you understanding? So there could be scenarios where there is no key audit matter available. I'll just show you one such audit report. Just give me a minute. So this is one example of our audit report where such thing was there. If you see this particular line over here, this is a section for the key audit matters, and this is that we have determined that there are no key audit matters to be communicated in our report. So this is the audit report where there are no key audit matters to be reported. If I show you another example of such nature, just a minute. These all are reports are publicly available. So there is nothing which I'm showing as a confidential or which is not a publicly available. So everything is publicly available. You can go and check it. Okay. Again, if you see this particular area over here, key audit matters. We have no key audit matters to communicate in our report. So there could be these examples where they don't have any key audit matter to report. Pretty much possible. And in those cases, auditor is required to basically provide this particular thing in the audit report that they don't have any key audit matter to report. Any doubt till now? Any doubt? Any doubt, guys? Okay. As of now, I don't have an example of where the disclaimer of opinion was issued and there are no key audit matters reported in that scenario. But I'm still searching for that, and if I get any such audit report where like the key audit matters were not there because of the disclaimer of opinion, in that case, I would be able to show you one example. Okay, like how the key audit matters are not reported when there is a disclaimer of opinion, and how the wordings change in case of a disclaimer of opinion, basically. Okay, I think I have one, but it's a bit old one. Just let me show you. It's a bit old one, but again, yeah, it's something relevant I could show you. It's an old audit report of 2017. I could show you some example on that line. See. So how the wordings are something somewhere drafted, I'll just show you. That disclaimer of opinion, that is, because of the significance of the matter described in the basis for disclaimer of opinion paragraph, we have not been able to obtain sufficient and appropriate audit evidence to provide a basis for audit opinion. And what is the disclaimer of opinion? That the matter stated in paragraph 2.1a and 2.1d in the notes to financial statement give rise to inappropriateness or use of generally accepted accounting principles that are applicable to going concern, and accordingly financial statements are not prepared on a going concern basis. The same note gives rise to the material uncertainty in regard to the possible material adjustment that may be required to made to the values of the recorded asset and liabilities, which could not be recorded in the financial statement on account of these not being readily ascertainable. As a result of these matters, we are unable to determine as to whether any adjustment that would have been necessary required to be made in respect of receivables, advance, current liabilities, contingent liability as on 31 March 2017. So that was some issues that were there. They reported in their report, like 2.1A to this one. So they prepared first time in India, something like that, and there was some changes on the accounting policies. Accumulated losses and lot of things are there. So see the wordings which have been used for the disclaimer of opinion over here is that they provided the opinion and they provided why there is a disclaimer of opinion. And in auditor's responsibility, basically, there is also an amendment that because of the matter described in the basis of disclaimer of opinion paragraph, we are not able to obtain sufficient and appropriate audit evidence to provide a basis for an audit opinion. Usually, in auditor's responsibility paragraph, okay, what you have is this one, that we believe that the audit evidence obtained by us, along with the consideration of audit reports of other auditors referred into our other matter paragraph below, is sufficient to provide a basis for our qualified opinion on the consolidated financial statement. This changes in disclaimer of opinion, because in that case you have not obtained the sufficient and appropriate audit evidence. Plus, if you see, there are no key audit matters reported anywhere. So, like this way, you can say, in disclaimer of opinion, key audit matters are not reported because you don't have any evidence in your hand. Are you getting any doubt with respect to this? Let me see if I have any other disclaimer of opinion report to show you guys. Because these kind of opinions are very difficult. Like, it's a last case scenario when auditor is not able to withdraw from the engagement due to, what do you say, issues that are involved in the audit, and like because of the regulatory requirement, and auditor is not able to get any audit opinion. In that case, it's a last resort to issue a disclaimer of opinion. Or kind of adverse opinion, because these are very very hard to identify, and very rare cases where auditor issues such kind of reports. Any doubt, guys, till now? Any doubt? So, can see when there are no significant matters to report other than the observations, what auditor will do? At that particular point in time, auditor will report, okay, there are no key audit matters other than what are reported in the audit report, in the other sections or other paragraph or audit report. That could be possible. Or auditor thinks there is no significant difficulty identified during the audit. Rare case scenario, but possible. Okay, so these kind of situations are possible where either there are no key audit matters or the key audit matters where are already part of your observation or any other area. In that case, you need to mention the fact that if there are no key audit matters, then you need to specify that there are no key audit matters in your key audit matter paragraph. Any doubt till now? Any doubt? Okay. Majorly, the SA 701 is applicable on the audit of listed entities. So, mandatorily, as of now, SA 701 is applicable with respect to listed entities. FS of listed, or rather than audit of listed entities. So, SA 701, okay, is applicable to the audit of complete set of financial statement of listed entities, and when auditor voluntarily applies this particular SA or want to disclose key audit matters, then it will be applicable. So it is applicable to listed entities, audit of listed entities, and where auditor voluntarily applies. It is not applicable in all cases. Okay. Any doubt? Any doubt, guys? Okay. So if no further doubts, okay, then what I suggest is for the next lecture, first of all, please revise SA 701 and 705 thoroughly so that when I will start SA 706, the next part of our section, that is EOM and OM paragraph. At that point in time, it will be more clear to you that how KAM modification are different than the EOM and OM paragraph. Okay. Again, it is very important for us to understand how EOM and OM paragraph are different. Okay. Then the key audit matters. So that you could get an understanding on that line. That okay, this is how the EOM paragraph is. This is what OM paragraph is, and this is where it is used. So that will be possible once you have a clarity and understanding of the key audit matters and the modification appropriately. So for that, I want you to read thoroughly whatever we have discussed today. Read thoroughly what we have discussed today. Okay. So that when we will discuss the EOM and OM paragraph, it will be clear to you. Number two, try to read well in advance this particular EOM and OM paragraph, so that you will have a good understanding of what we will be discussing in the next lecture. So for example, just let me show you one audit report, so that you could get a good example for that. Just a minute. Okay. So yeah, this is also a good audit report with disclaimer of opinion. Plus, let's say for example, I was referring to this. We have a disclaimer of opinion, basis of disclaimer of opinion, but on the same time, we have a emphasis of matter paragraph, material uncertainty paragraph. So all paragraphs are different and coexisting at the same time. And if I just show you again in this, the wordings of the disclaimer of opinion, if you see, all the details have been provided why they are saying, there's a disclaimer of opinion. So everything is disclosed over here. And in the opinion, the wordings are, see, we were engaged to the audit of the accompanying standalone financial statement of IL&FS Energy Development Company Limited, which comprises of standalone balance sheet of this and standalone statement of profit and loss account, including other comprehensive income, standalone cash flow statement, standalone changes in equity for the year ended, and notes to financial statement, including summary and other details. We do not express an opinion on the accompanying standalone NDS financial statement of the company. Because of the significance of the matter described in the basis of disclaimer of opinion and material uncertainty relating to the going concern section of our report, we have not been able to obtain sufficient and appropriate audit evidence to provide basis for an audit opinion on the accompanying financial statement. So this is a paragraph which is substantially different from other audit reports. We do not express an opinion. In disclaimer of opinion basis, you provide all the details as much as it is possible to provide. Okay. So these are the details. Then you have a material uncertainty also. Okay. Then again, other matter paragraph, EOM paragraph. And if I show you auditor's responsibility, again, the difference here. See, our responsibility to conduct audit. However, because of the matter described in the basis of disclaimer of opinion section of our report, we are not able to obtain sufficient and appropriate audit evidence to provide a basis for an audit opinion on these standalone financial statements. So they are mentioning that they are not able to provide any opinion and they are not able to gather sufficient and appropriate audit evidence in their responsibility section. So certain differences with respect to the disclaimer of opinion. But majority, as what I was saying, is that disclaimer of opinion or qualified opinion, KAM, EOM paragraph, other matter paragraph, all can exist together. And we need to understand how these are different from one another, so that we could have a clear understanding of what to report in which paragraph. For that, please read SA 701 again, SA 705. And if possible, try to read SA 706 before start of the lecture. Okay. Any doubt, guys? Any doubt? Uh, Thank you, Mancha. Very good. So to provide me one more audit report where we have a disclaimer of opinion. Let me show you. So you guys can read these reports also, because again, you have a disclaimer of opinion and you can refer to these reports. So it will enhance your understanding about, different type of opinions. So this is, I think, Cafe Coffee Day, where a disclaimer of opinion has been issued. See, disclaimer of opinion, basis for disclaimer of opinion. So again, these wordings, we are unable to obtain sufficient and appropriate audit evidence to provide a basis for a conclusion of the statement, and we do not express a conclusion on the statement. And the basis of opinion has, again, we have a EOM paragraph with the disclaimer. Okay. Then you have now other matter paragraphs are also there. Okay. So this is a disclaimer of opinion audit report. Yep. And again, in the auditor's responsibility section, there will be a different change. Okay. So this is the disclaimer of opinion. Any doubt? Charu, that is part of the SA 706. That's why I'm saying this is something we will see in SA 706, that how to refer other audit reports. So as of now, park it. I will discuss at the time of SA 706. Any doubt? I hope you are able to understand what we have discussed today. Please come up with your doubts if you have any doubts. I want that you should have utmost clarity of the topic. And do let me know if you need anything further from my side with respect to this, to enhance your understanding, or whether you want to carry it in a different way, you need something else. Do let me know. I'm, ready to assist and ready to provide that. Okay. Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you for your time. Thank you for participating in the lecture. I'll see you in the next lecture. Thank you very much. Yes.